I'd like to go and I'm just going to read to you something out of Ecclesiastes this morning. And Ecclesiastes was written by a very wise man by the name of Solomon. Many believe that this was written towards the end of his life, giving a testimony, looking back, like a journal saying, let me sum up life now that I'm at the end of life, and maybe you can learn from my mistakes. I met with the pastor last week. He pastors one of the largest churches in Illinois, and he said, hey, let me tell you some of the mistakes I made. You know, all of us want to talk about what we're good at. And if all of you start telling me what you're good at, I'll get discouraged because I'll be like, I can't measure up to you. But when you tell me about your mistakes, I could say, well, I won't walk down that path, and I won't walk down that path, and I won't do that, and that was wise, and I don't want to make that same mistake. So he's coming to us, and he says this in chapter 1 and verse 2, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. He says, what profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. In other words, we have to be thoughtful that we don't only make decisions for today. You know, in Genesis, the scriptures tell us that God formed man in his image. Therefore, you and I are pilgrims. We're just coming through this earth. You and I are eternal. But the decisions that you and I are making today will have a ripple effect if Jesus doesn't come back in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, when you retire, for your children, and for future generations. One decision that my brother made by going to a church made a ripple effect on my mother. And then my mother took a 3-year-old boy. And my mom had 2 that were underage. My brother is a pastor in the state of Alabama today, and I'm a pastor in the state of Illinois. All because one lady decided, you know what, I think I want to take my kids down a different path.